Hello and welcome back to Frostpunk. In our last episode, we made our way to Winterhome, where we found that everything was lost in Winterhome. And that caused some massive despair here in our little town because we had hoped that Winterhome was going to still be around. And the hope meter has fallen to about 10% or so there, maybe less. And so then we were given the option to pick either order or purpose. Order being a basically like a police, or evolving toward a police state, and purpose being evolving towards a perhaps a religious was it called a patriarchy. Both are bad if taken too far. Both are okay if only taken far enough. They each have different attributes and different features. And so, as I usually do, I chose purpose. So, we immediately signed the House of Prayer law, and now we need to build our houses of prayer to satisfy the quest. So I'm going to start with the game. The game is still paused. I'm going to jump in here into faith and look at the House of Prayer. And like the other buildings, this has a range of influence. I'm using the middle mouse button here to rotate the building, like I did with the Coal Thumper in the last episode, because I want to try and find a spot here where this can be aligned just like that, actually. That's perfect. And then we need to also place one actually right there. That's great too. There is a gap here, and if we end up putting houses out here, we'll have to put another one in somewhere in this vicinity. But for the houses we have now and the infrastructure we have now, this is actually quite perfect. We'll build a bit more road here to get to that one. And then, given the amount of trees we have left, I think I will also build a few more houses, or tents rather, to round out the population here. Are we covered? Okay, we could use another fighting pit to cover these last few houses. Yeah, to cover the last few houses. Fighting arena, sorry. Fighting arena. And I think I'll put that I think I'll put that here. That'll cover these last couple houses and also these two spaces where we don't have any tents yet, but now we do. Yep, that'll be covered too. So there is a gap also right here, which we have also with the fighting pit. That's why there's no... Oops, wrong button. That's why there's no tent here. Actually, no, it says it's covered. Why did I not put one there? Oh, the heat. They must not be covered by the steam hub. Yeah, they're not. So you can see the steam hub lights up when I move slightly in that direction. So maybe I should have built the steam hub one more tile closer, but what I'll end up doing is maybe building one out here someplace in the future, and then that one will just kind of cover that corner of the houses. So let's unpause the game. We are in the middle of the night. I'm going to crank up the speed here a little. Okay, a lot. We'll get to 5 a.m. Actually, we'll get an alert here. The unconvinced want to leave. Sir, you've convinced the majority, but hope is low. A group of our people are still so scared that they want to flee the city for London in 15 days. They've come to try to change your mind. You say that faith will save us? Nonsense. What, are we going to pray for food when we start to starve? Shouts one of them. If we don't try to reach London, we'll end up like Winterhome. Calm down, we're not going to die. The Londoners. Your people are divided. Some of them are so scared that they plan to leave the city for London in 15 days. They'll try to convince others to join them, preying on their discontent. Fear may lead people to desperate acts. Maintain peace, give people hope, and manage their discontent to guide the city safely through the looming social crisis. Okay. So there are 19 Londoners. There's a very high tendency that people will join them at this point. This goes up to 3 ticks, so that's very high. And as you can see, there's a little arrow floaty thing above and below this bubble. And as people join or leave, hopefully more leaving than joining, this little thing will bounce in whichever direction, showing you that something happened in their stats here. So we have to convince all of the Londoners to not leave the city in basically 15 days, just under now, 14 days and something. Okay, and the Londoners gained more followers. People joined the Londoners. Sir, the people who want to leave for London have successfully urged their friends and neighbors to join them. People are more easily persuaded because they have little hope in our ultimate survival. I see. So now it's up to 36. But don't despair. We will make a dent in that very, very soon. More people doing more complaining. And our scouts have arrived at the crash site, which we've already been to, so we're going to proceed to the American camp. I don't remember what the distance to the crash site was, but as you can see, this one is at 10 hours. The straight shot would have been more, once again. Okay, stop pointing that out, Wally. We've covered that. Temperature falls. Okay. So the temperature has fallen. We need some heat here, and here, and here, here, and we're still only operating at cold. I missed that one too. Houses of prayer built. Houses of prayer have been erected, giving people a place to pray together and find comfort in faith, and hope rises. 226 living near a house of prayer. We have 226 people. That means that we have satisfied the house of prayer need. Let's turn that heater on also. We can close that. Let's see. What I want to do is go into the the economy screen, I think is where it is. No. Ah, that's where I was looking for it. So also here on the hope and discontent meters, it tells you how many people are living near a fighting arena and how many people are living near a house of prayer. If those numbers aren't your total population, then you probably want to consider building more or destroying some tents or something, because if you can get all of your people living nearby a fighting pit, a fighting arena, and a house of prayer, then you are in a much better situation. What I want to do is do a sermon. The words of our spiritual leaders will restore hope. And we want to do these sermons every 2 days on cooldown, basically, as much as possible. Alright, so cold is still a problem for all of our people and all of our houses. Oh, the scouts have reached the freshwater springs. Let's explore. Degenerated, but alive. Near the freshwater springs, we met some refugees from Winterhome. They are a sorry sight and seem to be completely unmoved by the fate of their city. Asked what kept them from starving, they look away, then mumble something about eating lichen. And we discovered a couple sites. We're going to escort these survivors to the city once again. So they'll be back in just about 21 hours. I want to turn on this coal thumper with 10 engineers. And you can see the tendency to join the Londoners has dropped by 2 levels, which is great. I think what I want to do next, our next research needs to be probably something to do with heat or possibly insulation if we can get some housing insulation. I probably should have done that before I did. Oh, gathering buns insulation. We'll go with it. We'll get this done, and then we can move on. Alright, so gathering post insulation is researched. And so now we need to... let's see. The only way to get housing insulation is to upgrade to the bunkhouse, because the bunkhouse has a base heating level of 2, I think, versus the tent. Otherwise, we could do generator power upgrade, which is probably the better one to do now. Although, oh, it's 2 days. Yeah, we better do it. Generator power upgrade. Start. Okay, let's unpause. And we'll have to get this done as soon as possible. To max out our time here. I suppose I could throw my last 8 engineers into there since everything right now is built. We have a little bit of discontent due to coldness at home. We're dealing with and yes, it's heating up. We're dealing with the coldness well enough, or the sickness from the cold well enough right now. We only have 9 people sick. Alright, let's go take the next upgrade. I don't need that just yet, and I may not actually even use it this time. Or maybe I will. Could do coal mining optimization. We could look at the steam sawmills or steelworks. Probably not going to do this right away. We could do flying hunters, which improves us to 30 food per day, which isn't a bad deal. We could also do the infirmaries, but I don't really see the point. And healthcare installation is fine right now. What I want to see is, let's pause the game. Can't see until, I want to wait on the research for, no, I need to do it. I need to do something. Let's do the bunkhouse first. The reason being is I'm not going to get this done before the flying hunters leave in an hour and a half anyway. Or an hour and 10 minutes anyway. So let's just do the bunkhouse research. Got to reach the American camp. And then we will do the flying hunters and hopefully get them done and maybe get some of them built and or upgraded before hunting time tomorrow night. Alright, the American camp. There's not a living soul in the camp. We found about a dozen emaciated bodies. Surprisingly, most of them were amputees fitted with prostheses. Okay, let's explore. Starved Americans. The American camp was well supplied with everything except food. Searching the tents, we found more victims of hunger. Most of them have badly worn but sophisticated artificial limbs bearing a company symbol, Tesla Manufacturing. We can only bury them and take their equipment. Sites discovered, temporary settlement. Let's take the resources, and we'll continue on to the temporary settlement. 11 hours away. And in the meantime, actually they'll get there before these guys get back. I'm back here into town, and let's wait for the generator to heat up here. I'm going to switch into heat mode, and now, because we kicked the generator up to heat level 2, steam level 2 I mean, it raised the temperature level in all heat zones by 1. This is a +1, that's a +2. So not only does this raise the power output of the steam generator itself, but it also raises the power output of the of all of the steam hubs. So you end up getting a nice benefit, kind of a double dip benefit there with that. And I don't know that these consume any more power, any more coal than I don't think they do, than they would have anyway. So that ends up being nice and advantageous. Alright, let's, it's free time now. We could do some building if we needed to. We have 44 vacant beds. We are bringing back 22 and 7. So 29 people, so we're good there. There's no people there. What else could we build? We can always build stuff, but we don't have any people to work in it yet. So there's not a whole lot of point in building too much stuff. Like, for example, we could build some more sawmills so that we were ready to collect more of these trees when the time came. That may not be a bad idea to get them built and have them even sitting idle. Let's build this as deep as we can into that pile of trees and just making sure that the whole thing is covered. And I think I'm just going to go straight down from here because this is, well, that's 2. I don't know what I want over there, and I don't want to necessarily build do I? Yeah, I'm going to do it. Worst case, I end up having to move this road. Or, even better, I have this road that I know I'm going to want, so let's build that road instead. I know I want this road here, so I might as well just use it. So that covers most of the trees on this side. We're already collecting a large percentage of the trees here, although, let me swing this around here. Actually, let's unpause the game. We're in, yeah. We do need to move out, push our way out a little bit. Once these trees are all gone, I'll do that. And then we do have additional trees to catch over here, which we do have most of them picked up, but we do have a few here in the corner and a little bit over there. And then there's a bunch of trees over here that we'll also need to catch. So we'll have to build some more sawmills over time. But having a bunch of them built, that more than we need, is kind of wasteful, I guess. The Rebirth of Faith. Sir, people have started to visit the House of Prayer. There aren't many of them yet, but it might be the start of something special. It seems they really needed a proper place of worship. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so we're going to let this run. I'm going to crank the time up, or the speed up to maximum here. And we're handling the sickness okay, mostly because everybody's in a livable temperature house here. So that's great. That's in a whatever, chilly area, so might end up having to put another steam hub somewhere where it can pick up that House of Prayer, but it's okay for now. Scouts have reached the temporary settlement. The settlement seems to have been abandoned. It consists of several tidy wooden shacks that are now completely empty. An upright boulder stands at its center. Memory of injustice. The center of the settlement is marked with an upright boulder. On its roughly planed face, someone chiseled the following: May God forgive the genius who sacrificed human lives in the name of progress, for we can't. Exiles of Tesla City. We won't touch the monument, but we decided to dismantle the huts for wood. Sites discovered: walled colony and fishing village. I think I'll do the walled colony next. Alright, and then we'll be back from the, something out by, the Londoners gain more followers. Yeah, so they still have a little bit of an upward tendency. We'll have to do another sermon in a little while. We'll also be getting another law in 8 hours, so middle of the day tomorrow, or today, rather. And our people are returning now. Scouts Unit number 1 have returned safely to the city with a lot of stuff, which is great. Let's pause here, and we'll go deal with these guys who have... We've already been to Winterhome. Here we can establish an outpost where we can collect trees now at Winterhome. Let's go to Freshwater Springs. That's where we left from. But that'll give us a jumping off point to go to either Frozen Grove or Snow Cliff. And it's going to take us 21 hours to get back there. So it'll be a nice wait for that one to get to be ready. And our steel is full. So really I should probably convert this to holding steel. And I should have probably built a few more of these containers because wood's going to be coming up short pretty soon. But I think we can hold... How much can we hold? 750? Yeah, we can hold 750. So we're going to use some... Oh, we got people. Never mind. I can do this. Let's put people in here. Did I put engineer? Yeah, engineers in there. Or put workers in there rather than engineers, and we'll have our people who aren't otherwise building anything come out here and do some work. We'll just build 2 for now. We have 20 people. They'll each work in as 10 there. We might also need some more hunters because we keep getting more people. What are we researching? The bunkhouse. I don't know that we're going to have the hunters, flying hunters ready. So let's go ahead and build also 2 more hunters' huts. And the requisite road here. That'll all just get built over the course of the day by those 20 available people. And that burned through a little bit of our wood as well. Let's speed it up a little bit. Bunkhouse researched. Alright, so I want to get that flying hunters going, even if we don't use it right away. But I'm not going to build any bunkhouses right now because we don't necessarily need them. Everything is livable. We're getting the temperature going up again in a day. Running at steam level 2 right now. We're okay with heat. We might want to have them built before we get to here, though. Although, I have a vague recollection of something. I'm going to take a look. It's the house redesign. And then there's house insulation at the end. Alright, so, yeah, so we're going to do flying hunters, and we'll build bunkhouses maybe in this stretch somewhere. Yeah, speed it up. There are 3 hungry people, because we ran out of food in the last day. Let me... actually, I'll wait. I will wait to assign these workers until closer to 1800. And we have a new law available. We're going to go into purpose, and I think I'm going to take... do I want evening prayers or shrines first? So, new ability, evening prayers, which is available at the House of Prayer and the Temple once we get the Temple. Each use raises hope and has a small chance of convincing a Londoner to stay, versus shrines, which is a new building. Shrines raise the hope of people working nearby. They increase the efficiency in nearby workplaces. I think we'll do evening prayers first to get our way to the Temple. Also opening the way to Faith Keepers before we come over here and work on this chain. Whether we do Faith Keepers or not right away will be up to situations. Alright, and so I'm going to go ahead and set up that evening prayer because it won't actually happen until this evening. So we can go ahead and turn that on. Or get it going, get it scheduled. And scouts have reached the Exile Colony. Numerous snow shelters expertly built from blocks of hard-packed snow huddle around cold, burned-out campfires. A deathly silence hangs over the colony. Dying exiles. Some of the exiles are still alive, just barely. We could try to bring them to our city, although they might die on the way. One of the dying held a diary to his chest. We read the last entry. Exiled from Tesla City, with food and fuel running out, we sent the strongest among us to search for help. They're our last hope. We're afraid this refers to these poor Yankees we buried. And of course we're going to escort the exiles to our city. We pulled the dying exiles from their snow houses and prepared them for the journey to our city. Some of them stirred from their death-like slumber to bless their absent friends for bringing help. We couldn't tell them the truth. Not yet. And of course, let's head back into the city and unpause. Oh no, I built the wrong thing. Crap, cancel. I built gathering posts instead of... Well, that's a bummer. Build the right thing this time. Yeah, we don't need those. Resource depots. And I need to wait. Yeah, I need to wait now. Doggone it. Pay attention, Wally, pay attention. It was bound to happen that I would miss something. And it's getting to be... was it 18 or 16? 18. Okay, we got time. A couple hours yet. Let's try and get these things built. Resource depot there and there. Oh, maybe they would have fit fine. I'm going to go ahead and pull the workers out and assign engineers in. And where else did I assign... Actually, no, we can't even have that many. I need to pull the workers out of here. Assign engineers into it. We'll put 2 out of there and put them in here. At least until the... Oh, wait, that's 22. Okay, never mind. There we go. That's what I wanted. Flying hunters researched. I'm not that worried about cookhouse insulation, or am I? Let's take a look here. No, I'm not. Yet. I mean, we might be by this point, but I'm not yet. Like I said, we're probably not going to build hothouses, so I think we're okay there. We could do infirmaries, although I'm not that interested. Maybe we could do coal mining optimization, because we're going to need it anyway. I don't feel like I need to have an outpost to gather trees, gather wood. We have plenty of wood at this point in the game. Though this would be good too. So generator efficiency or coal mining optimization. Both are going to help with our... This makes coal mines 10% more efficient. That means 10% more coal, I assume. This makes the generator burn 10% less coal. Well, let's see. If... let's do some abstract math here. If we're using 100 coal a day, if this means we're only going to use 90, then if we're making 100 coal per day, this means we're going to produce 110. Adding 10% means that we are then burning 100 out of 110, which is greater than 90% of the coal being burned. So this is better, I think. But it's probably not worth fretting over. Feel free to check my math. Yeah. Alright, we're getting close to 18 now, so let's go ahead and assign these workers here. And that way they'll show up to work in 20 minutes. And then I can also put in some wood storage here. And we'll leave that one unassigned for right now. Okay, and these guys are reporting to work understaffed. We have 4 sick absences here out of the 12. Did I not turn on a heater someplace or something? That one, but that one's not needed. That one. Doggone it. The coal mine generated sick workers, and then I freed the workers and replaced them with engineers. But they went here. Okay, good job, Wally. Good job. Alright, we have people coming back in 13 hours. United by faith. Sir, we're holding an evening prayer this afternoon. Plenty of people are here. They're praying, but also talking and laughing. I haven't seen anything this heartening in our city for a long time. It's really brought the community together. I'm glad to hear that. Right, and then what do we want to build? Because we should always be building something at night. I think maybe some more resource depots correctly this time, just so we have them. It doesn't hurt to have them being made. People are eating now, but we definitely need more food. Everybody showed up for work here, but we still had 4 absences. So this one's going to be stuck at 60%. This one's going to be stuck at 80%. And we will build the Flying Hunters hangars, all of them, in the morning after they return at 6 o'clock. So we'll have 2 hours to get them built before everybody has to go to work. But I want to make sure they come back before I do it, because otherwise I think it cancels their work for the night, and we don't want that to happen, especially for food. So we could either do the Snow Cliff or the Frozen Grove. This appears to have occupancy. So I think we're going to go to Frozen Grove first, but I think this is a, hey, there are more points of interest kind of thing here. But we'll go to Frozen Grove. Man, I can't say Grove today. And we're still good on this. The Londoners gained more followers again. That's alright, we'll get them. Okay, it's 6 o'clock. All the food hasn't arrived yet. 80. Ah. You can lower the steam level now, too, because the temperature just went down, or up by 10 degrees. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 20? I should have gotten 120 food back, unless these two didn't count. Because it does say building is being activated. Oh, they're still finishing. Okay. Never you mind, Wally. Never you mind. That one's done. And this one needs to finish. But we could start building... I forgot about the gauge around there. Let's build some of these now. Boom, boom, boom. And this one. And this one. But not yet this one. Okay. There's hangars. Boom, boom. And we wait on this one. Until that finishes. So those are... We may have to pull some workers out of some places. Because I want these to get done today. Although, their own people should work on them. So, we'll do that. And then, let's take care of the scouts. They have come back. Brought back people with them. So now we'll go to the fishing village via, again, the temporary settlement. Yeah. And so they brought 54 people back. Or did those count? I don't remember if those counted or not. But either way, we have people doing building, which is great. Perfect timing. We have housing that we need to build. Let's get that built. Should I just start? I should probably just start building bunkhouses. We have enough steel. Yeah, I should just start building bunkhouses. No sense doing the upgrades later. So let's build a bit more in this line here. 2, 3, 4, 5, which is how many we need. So that is great. And we'll go all the way around the loop here. And then this can come down like this. And then I can delete this road at that time. Or after that time. Let's swap out for some workers here. We also have engineers down here and here. Okay. Generator efficiency upgrade researched. And then we'll do the other one, the coal mining optimization, I think next. Okay, let's get these built fairly quickly, folks. Promise fulfilled. You gave your people time to rest, maintaining normal working hours. People feel ready to work hard again. Hope rises. Okay. And the scouts have reached the frozen grove. Grove. I said it right. Some trees in this grove bear deep cuts in the shape of a cross. We found some bones scattered around them. Buried shame. Poking around the trees marked with crosses, we found shallow graves under each of them. The dead bodies lack most of the bigger muscles, and some bones bear signs of a cutting tool. The corpses have been obviously stripped of edible parts. Now we know what kept the survivors by the freshwater springs from starving. We'll leave the graves intact, but we can cut trees for wood. Let's take the wood, and we can move our way back. Okay, so I was wrong. We can move our way back to the snow cliff, which is 14. I don't remember what that was, but I don't think it was less than 8. So we're just going to go straight there. Alright, good. They're building now. Let's get this stuff done. They'll still leave. They'll leave a little late, but they'll still leave tonight. Either way. So it'll be alright. We also need to get them houses done. Although I could, I suppose, pop some workers out of some of the extra stuff, like that especially, and help get stuff done a little bit faster. Coal mining optimization has been researched just in the nick of time. Okay, we're doing okay on the sawmill and on the wood and the steel right now. I think I'm gonna open up this one, mechanical calculators. Okay, so you can see now the hunters, instead of being a hunting party that walks, they're a hunting party that flies on a Zeppelin-y kind of thing, which is kind of a cool, I don't know, feature, design thing. Not sure what to call it. Right, so the houses got built, which is great. I guess we can put workers back in there. And we'll have to get these guys taken off here. There they go. So they won't be back until much later. It takes about 12 hours. Then we'll be back until almost noon, but it'll be okay. I suppose we should be doing some housing upgrades now. For the next cold, before the next cold sets in. Except that I don't want to do too many because, as I just revealed, cancel those, I don't have any free housing. So maybe I should build some more houses first. That would be the smart thing to do, Wally. You're not in range of a fighting pit, fighting arena. So we'll do these two, but not that one. And we can build this road, like that. And now we can also delete this road, like that. And there we go. And they have arrived at the temporary settlement, so let's continue along to the fishing village. I suppose we can assign some workers here now. We can also build the last coal mine tonight. Would probably be good. Because we really want most everyone working most all the time. And speaking of time, I've just looked at time, and I think it's time... Okay, accepting time. But I think it's time to end this episode here, and continue in the next one, where we'll have this stuff built. We'll be experiencing another cold snap here. These folks will be to the next spot, and we'll see what else we need to build when we do some more research. So thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.